What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cracker Hunters. I'm Carolina Hitman.
I'm Anubis.
And today we're going to be doing a Shootin the Shi.
Yep.
Man, we haven't done one of these in a long time.
Wow, it's been a while.
It's been a while. But this one we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, which our next Shootin the Shi is going to be near and dear to his. So we're just doing it in order because it's chronologically in order.
Right. This just makes sense.
Yeah. So today we're doing a Shootin the Shi on the 80s. The greatest generation ever to live on the face of the earth.
So says he.
It's the truth. I will bring some good points as to why it is. But so you actually, because what year were you born?
87.
Oh, so you grew up.
I'm a 90s kid, bro.
Yeah, you are. So, but the good thing is you've seen a lot of the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That that I have throughout the 80s.
Well, see, hell, the 87, that was the year Predator came out.
Right.
89, that was Batman.
Yep. So and a good thing is too, man. See, me, I got the best of both worlds. I got to be a kid in the 80s and a teenager in the 90s. So I got to experience all of them.
Well, as a kid though, in the 90s, you missed out a lot.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I know you didn't watch Power Rangers.
This the fuck I did.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? Green Ranger Saga? White Ranger you talking about? I was like 13 when it came out. So it was right around the age where it was all right to watch it. It wasn't too old, wasn't too young. Well, was that not really too young to watch Power Rangers?
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyways, yes. So man, what do you think? I know that you
Let's
didn't
talk
really
about
grow
the
up.
music first in the 80s.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now
that's something everybody can enjoy.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think honestly, musically, I think musically, music, movies, everything is better from the 80s. Because I think far as metal, that was the greatest era of metal that will never be duplicated again. I mean, like quality metal.
But then again, you got the hair metal.
Well, I mean, you got to take the good and the bad. I'm not saying that, because even though it was hair metal, some of that still was good.
And Rat. Let's not forget about Rat having in the 80s.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying all of the 80s was spectacular.
Okay. The greatest.
But just because we had something bad doesn't mean it's not good. Like you have to admit, like some of the greatest metal albums ever made came out in the 80s. Like, and it's not even close. Defenders of the Faith, Screaming for Vengeance,
Master
of Puppets, Ride the Lightning. Like I said, so. I mean, like seriously, and that's just two bands.
Was Kill 'Em All?
I think Kill 'Em All may have been. I think Kill 'Em All maybe the 90s.
No, Kill 'Em All was their first album. It was
okay, so it had to be the 80s.
It was either late 79.
I think Justice for All was that 80? Was that 90s? I think
Black Album was 90s.
Oh yeah, that's right. That officially marked the decline of metal. Yeah, exactly. And that's just two bands we just named. All those albums.
Metallica and Judas Priest.
And we haven't even scratched the surface of some of the metal music. And that's not even just metal. Like some of the best, I think, fun music. Like we got Journey. You got
Def Leppard,
Bon Jovi, Boston, like Chicago. Like you got a lot of good
Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have
Van Halen,
and that's why I love talking about the 80s because it's so much. It's a plethora of good quality things that came out. Like the music, it was good quality. Right? None of this stuff that we got in the 90s and 2000s where everything was so synthesized and produced. Like this was like Metallica's Garage album, like Garage Inc. That's a Garage album, and it still
came out in the 90s.
I'm just saying. Well, no, did they come out in the 90s? I think they came out in the 80s, didn't it?
The Garage Days?
Garage Inc.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know what year that came out.
I think it was 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
because they were a lot younger.
That was like when they first started, kind of like.
And that's my point.
But I still think it doesn't matter what anybody says to me. Kill 'Em All is always going to be my absolute #1 album from Metallica. And I don't care what anybody says.
For me, I ain't gonna lie. I know it's not their best, but it's my favorite. And Justice for All is my favorite one. That's my
because of One and Injustice
for All, Disposable Heroes. Yeah. I think their best album is Master of Puppets. That's their best album.
I think that's one of the second most popular. Definitely second most popular. Black Album's the most popular.
Which is anyone who
wrong.
Anyone who
wrong.
Yes. anyone who chooses the Black Album over
Master of Puppets,
any of their 80s albums, you're wrong.
Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, you're wrong. Like it's not even like up for debate. You are wrong.
And let's not even forget though, Kiss had albums out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I should have worn my damn
Twisted
Kiss
Sister. I mean, like seriously.
The hair metal.
Yeah, the hair metal. And like I said, even though it's hair metal, there are good legitimate bands. There were some good legitimate bands during that time period. Even though they were hair metal bands, they still made good music for that time.
Now, Kiss was more along the lines of 70s greatness, 70s.
Right.
But
they still made albums in the album.
And that was more along the lines of like when they took away their face paint.
Right.
And
which
it was
really kind of defeated the purpose of Kiss.
Well, I don't know. They had some pretty good songs like Let's Put the X in Sex and Heaven's on Fire.
But Kiss is not Kiss without that makeup.
I know.
I mean, let's just be real. They're not.
I know. I agree. I just hate to agree.
In your opinion, because you know metal as much as I do, if not more. In your opinion, what is the greatest metal album of the 80s, in your opinion?
That's tough, man. Yeah. That's really tough. That's a hard decision, man, because you got all the Judas Priest albums.
I think for me, it's easy. Like, I think it will probably be Defenders of the Faith. Personally, that's me. For my personal preference of the 80s, I think Defenders of the Faith is the best album of the 80s. Right.
Personally, I would say, Ride the Lightning probably is my personal favorite. But, that's just me personally.
And that's the thing, there's a lot of opinions in that. It's hard to really, it's really personal preference.
Right.
Like, it really is just personal preference, and some of the albums that really shaped you. But like I say, there's really no wrong answer. Well, there can be several wrong answers. Oh, yeah. I mean, but now who do you think is the best band, like best metal band of the 80s? We're forgetting about Black Sabbath too. I just want to throw that out there. We didn't forget about
70s.
It was still 80s too. They had music in the 80s.
Oh, in the 80s, it wasn't. Well, Black Sabbath had Ronnie James Dio in the 80s, but. Ozzy. We forgot about fucking Ozzy.
Yeah, I didn't forget. That's why I threw him out there. We didn't forget about you, Ozzy. We did not.
No. Dude. Best band out. Oh, it's definitely Ozzy, man.
You think so?
Metal
in the 80s? No.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Ozzy Osbourne, dude, with Randy fucking Rhoads, man. There's no challenge.
Well, yeah, it is. Like for me, I think the greatest metal band of the 80s will have to be Judas Priest. And I don't even think there's
maybe talent wise.
No, I'd say talent musically, lyric. I won't say lyrically. No, lyrically, no. I have to give that to Black Sabbath or
Ozzy or just Ozzy Osbourne.
But not just Ozzy, or I'd say lyrically, because they're hit and miss sometimes. Defenders of the Faith is one of their best lyrical albums.
Man, Ronnie James Dio was pretty fucking.
Oh yeah, he was
in the 80s too.
Yes. Like we're gonna do a Shootin the Shit on metal music. We're gonna do one. Yeah, because that's gonna be a good one. But
man, you got me thinking now.
I told you, man, and that's the thing. Even though you didn't grow up in the 80s, it's
still something that anybody can enjoy.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Music has no time. Shit, I like music from the 30s, man.
Me too. I like music from the 50s and stuff 30s, like that. Yeah.
40s. I mean, you play BioShock, dude. That's all you get.
That's the good thing about me. But see, that's the difference. When I think the 80s the 80s and early 90s to an extent.
Well, I mean, you could also look at some of the other stuff.
Well, too. This right here, we're going to talk about in the 90s.
This was 80s. Mario was 1980s. 85, dog.
I think Mario.
When Super Mario Bros. Came out, it was 1985.
I'm talking about 3. That's not the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 is the greatest.
91 or 2.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll talk about that more, because I think video games played more of a big part in the 90s and the 80s. In my opinion, because
I don't know, man. When it comes to the 80s, dude, it was the start of everything.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but that was the start.
The start of the best.
I actually, for me, I think the 90s was a start, and we'll get into that in the next video. Now,
what do you want to talk about? You want to keep going with the music, or you want to go to a different genre?
Man,
you want to go to the movies?
I think we can, because I don't want to spend too much time on a specific thing.
Well, we've hit
a
lot of main points on the music.
On the music, yeah, I think so. So everybody, before we move on to our next point in the 80s, let us know in the comment section, who do you think is the greatest metal band or band in general? Yeah, like band in general in the 80s. Like, for me, I think it would be Judas Priest.
I swear to God,
if
they fucking say the best song is Safety Dance, I'm gonna be upset.
Because I'm gonna tell you, man, Journey is up there as far as one of the greatest bands of the '80s. They're way up there.
With Van Halen, I think.
I think Journey's better, as far as in the '80s. I'm not saying.
And we're forgetting Motley Crue also.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bands. There's so much, man, we could talk about in that music. I mean, seriously.
Just in music and
that's how great the '80s is. We just started in the music, and we haven't even touched a small percentage of it.
Right.
All right. So, we'll move on. So yeah, everybody in the '80s. What do you think is the greatest album, metal or otherwise, and greatest band? It could be metal, whatever, of the '80s. So let's move on to movies now, and this is where I think this generation has it hands down. There is nothing. It's like you're not even up for a debate
on the
movie side. Yeah, like the '80s.
Well, when it comes to horror movies,
no, I wouldn't even say just horror. I would say movies in general, because remember, Back to the Future.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Indiana Jones.
You kind of split that one up though.
No, but it started in the
Raiders.
80s. Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that's the good thing about Indy is like he got to give us.
We can't say Star Wars though. We can't say A New Hope, because that was in the '70s.
Yeah, that's true. But no, Empire Strikes Back was the '80s. God damn it. Yeah, like I said, man.
I hate it when I hate it when you write about stuff.
And that's what. And honestly, that's why I think growing up in the '80s really helped shape a lot of people, because they got to experience some of the greatest creative content as far as movie-wise ever created. Like that is the '80s is when
monsters
like horror movies. That's why I'm such a horror fan. The '80s helped shape my horror taste, and that's honestly why I'm so picky and so critical of movies now, is because I grew up in a generation where so much creativity and so much content was there, and it was like, don't get me wrong, there was garbage, because there's garbage in everyone.
Oh, like Demons?
No, hey, fuck you. That's a good movie. Hey, but that's what makes the '80s so amazing, especially as far as movies, is that the creativity behind all that stuff.
I will definitely give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, man, because there really hasn't been a good monster since.
No, because we got what? Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers.
You can't say Michael Myers. No, you can't say Michael Myers.
Why not?
That was '70s. That was
yeah. Okay, fair enough in that one. Yeah, fair enough.
Freddy Krueger.
But Freddy Krueger, Jason, Pinhead. Yeah, Pinhead.
No.
Was Pinhead? Yeah, Pinhead.
Yeah, that was '87.
Yeah, that's right. Pinhead. Nightbreed. I mean, honestly, and Aliens, Predator. Like we seriously.
The list goes.
The Thing. Yeah, honestly, and this is just horror movies.
'82 was The Thing.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. '82 was The Thing, and that's the thing is like we're not. This is just horror movies, and even then we still haven't touched on like some of the greatest
action movies. Well, that would be Predator.
Yeah, it would be. But what would you classify? I don't know. I mean, we got.
Die Hard.
Yeah. No, that is the greatest action movie ever made. Like that's a perfect movie from start to finish.
Was that '80s?
I think no. Yeah. I think it was maybe I don't know. That one I have to check.
Well, yeah,
we'll have to check on that one. We'll double check on that.
Because that came out after Family Matters, and I think that was.
No, Family Matters was like right at like '89 or '88, one or the other. Yes.
Oh, so it might not. Die Hard might.
Yeah, it might be the '90s. Yeah, so yeah, I think the Die Hard's '90 because I think it came out in 1990, and then Die Hard 2 came out in '92.
Well, either way,
yeah.
Let's not forget about the shit stuff that came out in the '80s, like fucking Pet Sematary.
Well, anything that Stephen King has his name on, as far as movie wise, is garbage. There's very few good ones. Very, very few.
The Shining?
Well, see, The Shining is good because it didn't follow Stephen King's book. Like, don't get me wrong, the book itself is good, but for some reason, man, directors have a hard time translating King's works to the screen.
A lot of the times they just like take away the best parts of the book and like throw it as null and void.
Well, sometimes that works though, because look at The Shining. I think Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining is amazing. Even though it didn't follow the book that much, it's still an amazing movie.
Terminator?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, yeah, you're right, because Terminator came out in the '80s and Terminator 2 came out. But you got to have a good one, you see? Yeah. But man, there's so much like we can all agree. We can all agree on the fact that the greatest director of the 90s was 80s was Steven Spielberg. Like that dude shaped every person's life that grew up in the 80s. You got Goonies, Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
I mean stuff like
no, that was Zemeckis. Robert Zemeckis directed.
Oh, you're right. But Steven Spielberg was a producer, so he still had a hand in shaping that movie.
I thought you said that the producers all they do is flip the bill.
Fair enough. I mean, still, yeah, okay. I have to take that back then. Because they do. I think they do play a part in helping shape the movie.
Yeah, I agree too.
And then, like Steven Spielberg, man, is one of the greatest directors of all time.
Oh yeah.
And he helped shape a lot of our lives growing up. Like we're not even talking Jaws.
But that was in the 70s.
Right. But we're forgetting about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What was the other one?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is 90s.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And that wasn't Steven Spielberg.
No, I was thinking about Beetlejuice just in general.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
And what we have? So we had Close Encounters. We had Goonies. We had Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any because I know he's made more in the 80s, but I can't think of all of them because he's made so many.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you got to kind of you got to match in with Steven Spielberg with George Lucas.
Oh yeah, well George Lucas technically was the 70s. Don't get me wrong, like his
Empire one.
Empire one was in the 80s.
And then
George Lucas is not even close to the level of Steven Spielberg.
Oh
no, he's not.
When it comes to imagination, I think he is.
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to think about E.T. That wasn't.
Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking for E.T. I agree.
It makes me think of that old Atari game.
Oh, the most horrible game ever made.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah, one of them. And that's what, like I said, and that's what I love about the 80s as far as movie-wise.
Right.
Like,
they're fun, man.
They are
fun to watch.
And that's the thing. Like, and there were so many creative, like, so many ideas. And that's the bad thing about the 80s. Like the generational thing, it blew its load on the 80s. It's like no more. It's like that was it. That was all. Like all the creativity load came out in the 80s, and it's really nothing else. Like that's a sad truth.
We've had some good stuff.
No, I will not deny. The 90s is a close second as far as like creative content and movies, music and stuff. That's a very close second. But for me, I think that, like I said, it just all the creativity and experimentation, especially movie-wise, was in the 80s. Like a good example of that was I love the documentary Never Sleep Again about Friday the 13th. About Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wes Craven.
Yeah, and what it showed me is how creative these guys were. Like in the original Nightmare.
The Hills Have Eyes was in the 80s too.
Yeah, that's Wes Craven, man. That dude's a little that was. But I think, and it showed me like. And thanks for cutting me off. You made me lose fucking track.
Never Sleep Again.
Thank you. But in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, where they did the room where
where it was like pretty much just a box.
Yeah, they built a room on a device and spun it around, and that's how they got her to roll up,
right,
and everything. And that's and they would have fucked it up today because they would just use CGI.
They didn't fuck it up in the 90s.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying they would have fucked it up now.
They did fuck it up.
Well, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, they did fuck it up, man.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because that remake was a fucking man.
I know.
Oh, I've never been so mad at a movie.
You take this great actor, Jackie Earle Haley,
and just
ruin this fucking movie.
And then the CGI looks so bad. Like
I know when you got a guy who's just coming through like fucking latex or something like that, and make that look better than CGI.
Right. And that's
sad.
And that's why I always prefer practical effects. We're forgetting about, you know who else we're forgetting about? Sam Raimi too. Evil Dead. Yeah, I couldn't forget about that one, man.
You know, it's almost though one of those things that was, if you saw it in the 80s, you were shock and awe.
Yeah, now it's kind of
now
campy.
It's just a comedy.
And I still love watching it. Like I said, it's campy and fun, but for its time,
it was good.
Yeah, and it was scary. Yeah, and it was. Excuse me.
That motherfucker, man. Who's gonna read that book?
Some.
My wife.
Please do not take this the wrong way. Some white person. Let's just be real. Let's be real, everybody. I'm not trying to be funny, but some white person would.
My wife.
You. Let's not even pretend like you would read that damn book.
I would read it just to see what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck the whole world up. That's what he would do. Yeah. But anyways. So
Shut up, act like y'all won't do it neither.
Yeah. But so what do you think is the greatest, and this is going to be like, this is almost impossible to choose, but what was your favorite 80s movie? I'm not going to say the greatest because that's highly debatable. But what do you think? What was your favorite movie of
Batman.
the 80s? Batman?
1989, Batman.
That's really. You picked Batman out of all these good movies. Batman wasn't even that good.
Yeah, but that's my personal favorite.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, it's just
I don't know. I mean, would you count that as 89? I mean, 89.
It's 80s. It's in the 80s. If it's 89, it's in the 80s.
And you know, they did dress that with the shoulder pads.
I'm just joking, everybody. Batman, the original Batman, was a pretty good
the
movie.
1989 Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton.
And I think that was important because it helps show comic book characters can be put on the screen and done right.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly, and taken seriously.
I mean,
because Jack Nicholson was amazing in that movie,
Jack
Joker.
Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, whatever.
Basinger.
Some stupid name that's hard to pronounce.
But yeah.
I love you, Kim Basinger, by the way.
But she could scream. I'll give her that much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like so that's your favorite one?
That's my personal favorite, but that's just because I think that was the first movie I went and saw in theaters, and I was only 3.
See, and a lot of these, I didn't get to see a lot of these movies in the theater so much as growing up and coming back and watching them again.
Right.
Like I got to watch them on TV and VHS and stuff like that. You know, I got to watch them that way, but it's not the same as being in the theater and watching it. I didn't get to experience Aliens or The Thing for the first time in the theaters.
Either.
Wait, what Exorcist? Was that 80s or 90s? I mean, 80s or 70s. That's 70s. Yeah, 70s. Okay.
That was in 72.
Okay, that's right. Which is amazing considering how. That's fucking amazing when you consider it, because that looks like an 80s movie.
Yeah.
It really does.
That looks like a nowadays movie.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Shit, like The Omen was in 76.
Man. So, but for me, I think my personal favorite would either probably be between.
Well, we're forgetting Rocky too.
Oh yeah, Rocky. Yeah, Sylvester. Yeah, man. I forgot all about that.
Well, the first one came out
78.
something like that.
Something like that. Which is still a damn good movie, but they got.
I mean, Rocky 3, Rocky 4.
Okay, let's be real here. Rocky 4 is not that good. It's good.
Fuck you.
I'm not saying
it's better than 3.
I'll give you that. Yes.
It's better than 2.
It most definitely is not.
Yes.
No, 1 and 2 are the best Rocky movies, and that's really
4 is where he fights Drago. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, that's, and I understand at the time that movie was made, we had a lot
because of the Cold War.
Yeah, exactly, and I understand that, but at the same time,
it's kind of. I mean, it was really kind of a powerful film, man. Because I mean, you're looking at the Russians and you're looking at Americans. You know, he wore Apollo Creed's shorts. You know, I mean, I thought that was a powerful film for when it came out. I didn't see it in theater. I don't even think when was that? What year was that?
80 something. I still think the first and second one are really superior, because that I didn't realize until later on, like much later, that Sylvester Stallone actually won an Oscar for Rocky for Best Director. I agree. Like that was an amazing movie. So
I mean, I'm not saying that Rocky 1 and 2 wasn't good. I just personally, I think 4 is probably the one that impacts the most.
Right. So for me, I think my personal favorite, as far as movies for the 80s, it would probably be almost a 3-way tie.
Aliens.
Between Aliens, The Thing, and Predator.
Yeah.
Those would probably be a 3-way tie. And that's just horror.
Because Predator's not horror. There's no way.
Honestly, and I know people say that, I can debate that it is. I can actually debate.
No, because
I'm telling you.
even when I was watching as a little kid, I was never scared.
Really? I can still debate.
When it came to Alien, though, that was different.
No, that's
straight up.
Yeah, that's sci-fi horror all the way. Yeah. But those would be my favorite ones, and it's just a horror genre and sci-fi. because I can still go with Back to the Future, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many I could pick out.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's amazing.
It's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, it really is. Like, that's easily one of the, I say, 50 greatest movies of all time.
Dude, I would throw that in the top 20.
I don't know, man. There's a lot more movies I would put ahead of that.
It's kind of hard to think of on the spot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can think of several, but it's harder for me to think of 20 right now. But I can give you easily 10 that I think are better than that movie.
That's why I said top 20.
Yeah, I'd say for me,
either way.
Yeah, I'd say at least top 50 of all time. That's really at least. So
Back to the Future is one of them.
I'd say Back to the Future is easily one of the top 50 greatest movies ever made. Now, and I think that's the thing that defines that genre. Like, there's so many of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah.
Hands down in that genre.
Stuff that that hold up today.
Yes, and you know what? Because like Aliens, Predator, and The Thing, and stuff like that. Back to the Future and stuff.
Still hold up today.
A lot of those movies hold up fucking well today too. Like, you can pop in, I can pop in Aliens right now, and it still would be better than 80% of the science fiction movies that come out today.
I want to say American Werewolf in London was like in 1981 or something.
I'd have to double check because
I know I would have to double check.
Yeah, I had to double check that one. I think that's a 79 movie, 78, 79-ish, I think. But I may be wrong. Let us know in the comment section if we are. But if it was,
I think it was like early 80s.
It may have been, but I think that may have been.
If not 1980.
You may be right, because I don't remember the exact date.
I don't either.
So if it is in the 80s, we got another one.
I think it is.
Because that
honestly,
movie,
that is the best transformation you'll ever have.
what makes me mad is people try and bring.
You can't fix it. I mean, you can't.
There are people who, there are people who think, like on some of my horror groups, there are people who legitimately think the werewolf transformation scene in Van Helsing is better than the one
There's no fucking way.
There's no fucking way at all. Like, and it makes me mad a little bit. Like, it really makes me mad almost.
Get off of this, because you're not even a horror fan.
No, because any true horror fan, like true diehard, will say that the werewolf, the transformation scene in American Werewolf in London is the greatest transformation scene ever put on film. Ever. Nothing will ever top that transformation scene. And like I say, I watched how they did it.
It's almost like, man, it's so simple.
It really, yeah, exactly.
I never in a million fucking years.
Like the way the hairs are coming up.
They just did it in reverse.
It's all, they really just pulled them in reverse and reversed the camera.
I never in my fucking life would have thought about that.
Me neither. And I'm like, man, like that, watching that for the first time is like, your mouth is like, holy shit,
why do you
this
think
looks
I have
real.
A werewolf tattooed on my arm?
Like, honestly, like that, yeah. But I don't want to spend too much time on movies because I don't want to spend too much time.
Well, we've already spent quite a bit.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. So now
cartoons.
Oh my goodness, cartoons! Yeah. But seriously, I think the 80s and the 90s are almost equal as far as cartoons. Honestly, it's almost equal.
Yeah.
I think the 80s probably shaped a few more people because there was so many. But I think the quality of cartoons is better in the 90s. I would easily give the 90s that.
I think the 80s have a few cartoons that are absolutely amazing that people love.
And the rest of them are just toy commercials in cartoon form.
But honestly, I don't think it's equal at all by any means. I honestly think the 90s has got the cartoons and the toys.
And honestly, because I think we talked about this before, honestly, I'd actually probably have to give close to give that to you. For just if for no other reason, for one, which we're going to talk about in the 90s video, for one alone, that one is the greatest animated show ever made. Now which I'm pretty sure if you're smart, you know which 90s cartoon is the greatest animated cartoon ever made.
Series.
Yeah, animated series. Yeah, exactly. But I think the 80s has a lot more defining, a lot more genre. Not even say genre
well,
defining.
I mean, for one, you got Transformers.
You got Transformers, G.I. Joe, DuckTales.
DuckTales. Man, that one's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and DuckTales kind of cheats a little bit because it's right there like 88 or something like. So it cheats a little bit. So it does.
We would say The Simpsons, but that one would be a super cheat.
Yeah, it would. That's really a
that
90s
was December
one.
of '89.
Yeah, so that's we're not gonna include that one. But
that would be 90s.
We got G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats.
No, what's that? Yeah, that was 80s. Yeah, that was 80s.
That's 80s.
I was about to say Smurfs and stuff was 70s.
No, Smurfs was 80s too.
No, Smurfs was 70s.
No, Smurfs was 80s, man. What are you talking about?
Snorks.
Yeah, Snorks was 80s. All that was the 80s.
You sure?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
You're talking to someone who...
Correct us if we're wrong.
I'm not wrong. The Smurfs were the 80s. I know they were 80s. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. That show got old quick, though.
Real old. Well, I'm not even a fan of the Smurfs. Like, that's...
It is Smurfberry.
Smurf. No, Snarf. I think it's
That was Thundercats.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Snarf.
Yeah. Snarf.
Fucking.
Oh, then we had Silverhawks, which is a underrated fucking show. I love which is basically Thundercats in space. Like, that's really all it was. It's Thundercats in space. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm talking about cartoons. I think you're right. I think the 90s almost does have it because there's some cartoons that come into my mind right now that I love to death that I can't talk about right here.
Yeah. But you know what they are.
Yeah. I think let's see. What's some other ones, man? What's some other good ones?
I don't fucking.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But then we had. I'm trying to think of some other really good ones.
That was in the 70s, wasn't it?
The Flintstones too.
Flintstones. Was that in the 80s?
I think. Man, Flintstones. I think they've been in the 70s.
Yeah.
And into the 80s. So like I said, I think so. If I'm not mistaken.
Man, I don't know, man. Those are old.
No, but you know what? And you know the sad thing is the sad thing. The good thing is they still hold up fucking well today.
I honestly think that's just cartoons in general.
Yeah. No. Like there's some cartoons. Like honestly, if you go back and watch Transformers and G.I. Joe, they don't hold up as well as.
Talking about the future.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
But stuff like Looney Tunes or like that.
Looney Tunes is ages. Like that will be that's ages.
Yeah, but I mean that's.
And that wasn't 80s. That was way earlier than that.
I know. I'm just saying that just proves my point. That
right.
Cartoons hold
good
up.
Cartoons.
Good cartoons hold up way better than TV shows, movies, anything.
I agree.
Because I mean, you can only do so much with animation.
And that's true.
You know.
And it really depends on your voice actor and stuff like that. That's a key part of making that show so well is having good voice actors. But I admit, like some of the cartoons that came out in the 80s are kind of corny now, and they really don't hold up that well. But they still help shape some people because one thing I liked about the 80s is that it had morals. Like the cartoons actually taught you morals. Good versus evil, stuff like that. I mean, let's be honest. Like that.
I mean, you're right.
And that's why the 80s guys like.
Oh yeah, we're forgetting the He-Man.
I wasn't a fan of He-Man. I know that's an unpopular opinion for a dude, but I didn't really like He-Man.
I didn't really like it either.
I mean, honestly, I didn't really like it. I'm gonna bring one out. Like, I want to see how many of my subscribers know this. Who've been born in the 80s. There's a cartoon called The Hair Bear Bunch. Well, these three bears that have afros that live in the zoo and escape on an invisible bike every week. Like that was probably one of my favorite, and it came on USA. But yeah, I love that show. Like yeah, it's this saying it sounds ridiculous, but it's awesome. We're forgetting about Scooby-Doo, which I'm not a fan of Scooby-Doo.
Dude, that was 60s and 70s.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Unless.
No. Are you sure?
Unless you're.
I think the 80s.
No, bro. That was 60s and 70s, man. Can't you tell what the fucking bell bottoms?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Good point. Yeah, you're right. But
the Stoner Mobile.
Yeah, right. Or rape mobile, as I like to call it. That's a rape mobile if I've ever seen one.
Oh man.
Vans. If someone drove a van like that today, you'd automatically assume they were a rapist or child or pedophile
or a hippie.
Nah, I when I see vans like that, I automatically there's a pedophile driving by. That's all I can think of.
I just expect to see free candy.
Right. But man. But the 80s, I don't think there will ever be a generation as great as the 80s. As far as that, I mean,
maybe that's just us being biased, because I'm sure
no, there is no bias. Like, it's actually, I think that's a fact. I'm not even stating an opinion. I think that's a fact. I think the 80s is the greatest generation to ever walk the face of this earth. Because if you look at it now, look at a lot of the 80s people. Like, when they grew up in the 80s, they were more respectful. You know, honestly, they are. They learned a lot more from the content that they were given, like the cartoons, you know, movies and stuff. Like, I think it's the greatest generation that ever walked the face of this earth.
Oh man.
I think maybe the
What year were you born in?
I was born in '79, so I got to grow up during the '80s.
Yeah, you're Gen X. Me and my wife, me and Murky, we're Gen Y.
Well, okay. So, and don't get me wrong, I think the '70s and '90s come in real close as far as being equal to the '80s, but I don't think anything will ever happen like the '80s again. Nothing. Because I think, like I said, it blew its creativity load all in that one decade.
On a few things. Movies, music.
Because I don't remember, honestly, that's actually the one thing I don't remember a lot of his TV shows from the '80s. I think the '80s.
Like Cheers and stuff, Taxi.
And that's because I was a kid during those times,
right.
So it doesn't affect me as, exactly.
You didn't really watch them.
Yeah, and I think the '90s has the greatest TV shows.
Well, I think we've exhausted.
Honestly, I think so too. I think we've talked.
I think it's a long video.
Yeah, I don't want to make it too long. So everybody, don't let us. I want to know, what do you think is the greatest '80s cartoon?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what you all say.
And your favorite, the greatest '80s movie.
Yeah, greatest '80s movie.
And cartoon.
Yeah. So let's name some of the things you love about the '80s.
Yeah.
Like some of the greatest things about the '80s you love.
Don't say safety dance.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
They're gonna say safety. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
I don't know.
If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance.
Yeah, I don't even know. See, I grew up in the '80s. I don't have no clue what that shit is.
Oh my
God. But yeah, I think, is there anything else you want to exhaust about the '80s, man, that we've talked about? That we haven't talked about? Do you think we've forgotten?
No, I think I'm good, man.
Okay. I don't want to spend too much time because,
it's probably been about 45 minutes.
Probably has. But, yeah, I think we're exhausted. We're done with the '80s, man. This has been a fun video. I guess bringing back some nostalgia, some good memories of some stuff, man. And we couldn't fit everything we wanted to talk about in this one video. It's too much. Movies, music, like, it's too much.
Well, we've hit the main thing.
I think so too.
Mario Brothers. We can talk about video games.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but the only reason why I didn't, I think,
because 90s guys.
Yes, exactly. So everybody, let us know what are some of, if you've grown up in the '80s, let us know what some of your favorite '80s memories were. And if you didn't, you got to watch some of the '80s movies. Let us know what some of your favorite '80s content was. So I think we're exhausted our content for this video. I'm done. Thank you for joining us, everybody, on this '80s throwback video. Yeah.
Is it a shooting the shit or a throwback?
Well, it's shooting the shit.
Shooting the throwback.
Yeah, shooting the throwback. Well, we thank y'all for joining us, man. This has been a fun video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get notified of our future videos. I'm Carolina Hitman.
I'm Anubis.
Thank you for joining Cracker Hunters. See y'all next time. Peace.